Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
There you go.
So powerful, guys.
I really just want this to play in the background the whole time.
Right?
Louder.
I know this is a very different intro than we're all used to here at iZombie.
Very true.
Feel it, guys. Just take it in.
I was gonna say, I think
Powerful
everybody
ending.
watching felt really empowered at the end.
Yes.
Oh my god, we got the lights going too.
Amazing.
It's a whole experience in here. Yes. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the iZombie After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Blake V. We have a super exciting show ready for you guys. Tonight's episode of iZombie was amazing. We have an equally amazing after show set up for you guys. And most importantly, we have a super special guest with us. So be sure to chat with us, interact with us online, YouTube, everywhere that you get our show. Be sure to jump on that hashtag ABTV iZombie. And be sure to jump in our chat room because it's open right now. Hannah is in the room.
Yes.
So be sure to let us know your thoughts and feelings about tonight's episode and get your questions ready for our special guest. So before we jump into the actual episode, I am Blake V. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media. Ladies, let them know where they can find you.
I'm Hannah Prichard, and you all can find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Hotshot Dude.
And I'm Desiree Murphy, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DMurph625.
Amazing. There you have it. So, drum roll, please. Our special guest tonight, Drake himself, Greg Finley. How's it going?
Very good. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Pleasure.
Yes. Okay, this is so exciting.
Our live audience applauds you.
Yes. Take your bow. Yes. Okay, so tonight's episode was a particular doozy. That was a word that we used ahead of time. I know we were just chatting beforehand that it's really interesting the course that iZombie is taking, because previously the shows used to be sort of self-contained, like, you know, the case and everything was solved in one episode. Anything that was introed was kind of, the loose ends were tied up at the end. And now it's taking a couple episodes to figure things out. They're setting things up. We're left on some cliffhangers. We've got to, you know.
Like all good shows.
Like all good shows.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yep.
Completely, absolutely. Okay, so tonight's episode, we really saw a lot of stuff that we've been wondering about. We've been trying to find the bodies that have been buried. We haven't been able to find them so far. That was our exciting ending.
Yeah,
Let's just start with that. I mean, that's on everyone's mind. We opened up with that. Okay, so they found the bodies, and how about our ending, guys?
I loved that ending.
I did too,
Big
but
fan.
basically because of the music and the freeze.
Yes.
But
It was amazing.
actually, a lot of that raised questions for me about your character, because it answered some questions about your gunshots when you were introduced to the show.
Yep.
Which did also kind of confuse me, though, because the character, what was his name, who was killed at the beginning, whose brain she ate?
Corey
Carp? Big Fish was his code name.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was the one who was dug up also in the field where I'm assuming you were shot.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
But you were being shot by Terrell.
Donnie.
Donnie.
Yeah.
Okay, so then where was Terrell? Like, why was she seeing that through his eyes?
Because he took out one of Boss's people, separate from Drake.
So
And we will find more about that next episode.
Okay.
Without giving, it's I
I
know.
was gonna say I wanted to get straight into it to like get answers from you, and clearly that's not gonna happen.
I'm realizing a lot of this episode, a lot of the answers will get revealed in 14.
So this is the big setup.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
They're planting everything for us.
But I was confused, though, in her vision about it, because it made you seem like you were not guilty of anything, but at the same time, you're working for Boss and affiliated with that men, so you're appearing to be
Yeah.
a bad guy. I'm confused. What is your take?
I know. Which is great as an actor. The character is so like you don't know
So
what the
complex.
heck is going on.
Yeah.
But 14, it all gets revealed.
Okay.
Yes.
14 guys.
So I can't
Great
say
to
anything
know.
right now, but you will find out in 14. The
Okay.
whole.
But
Fair enough.
when you were asked to play, or when you like auditioned, got this part, read the first one, how much did you know about this?
So I knew absolutely nothing, and I was originally only supposed to be in like 1 or 2 episodes.
I wondered that as well.
So I get to set, and I'm like, I don't know how to play this guy because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
And then Diane and Dan Etheridge came into my trailer and just gave me this huge spiel about my character. And it went from knowing nothing to knowing like 100 different things. And then I was just like,
Wow.
oh my God, I don't know if I want to
You're
know
like, this
that
doesn't
much.
even help me.
Yeah.
So, a lot gets revealed next episode.
Yes.
There we go. So let's dive a little bit into the case. As all of our shows are, we've got a little bit of the case, and then we want to know more about everything else and our guest, you know? But let's spend a little bit of time on the case. So the case was really crazy. We're all confused, obviously. So
Per usual.
you know.
Always. You know.
But so we were introduced to the character initially who was murdered. Corey Karp was his name, and we find out that he was one of Boss's guys who went around and really kind of preyed on drunk girls and just whoever would hear his stories. He was a liar. He exaggerated everything. We got introed into the girl who set off the episode who came in to ID his body, and I really liked her. She was really
did
funny.
too.
I
She was
love
really,
that
really
whole
funny.
thing right
Right,
there.
that whole
was
little
hilarious.
interaction.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, he was an FBI agent. He was coming to take down some robbers, and come
Never
to find
call
out,
me
nope.
again.
Yeah, nope. Wasn't
Favorite
any of that.
line.
Yeah. So, you know, sort of in figuring out the case, we had a couple players. We came to know Terrell Johnson, who we later found out took out one of Boss's people, and Drake had to go and handle the situation.
Which he seemed like a wonderful actor. What?
Oh, man.
Like, from the minute they opened the door, I was like, dude, this guy is already killing it with one look.
Back to you talking about the girl, the day players that come in on this show that are mostly Vancouver natives. The actors are so talented. They're
so
Yeah.
good.
Him in particular, he was intense.
So he was a local.
A
local actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he gives you one look, and it's just like, what?
Yeah.
He has a story, like,
Amazing.
very interesting guy.
Okay, so I especially liked while we were watching the episode, you gave us a little insight to the scene where you confront Terrell and he splashes the coffee on you and he just like attacks you. Tell us a little bit about that day of filming.
That day was cold coffee all over me.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Not
Better
hot.
it was cold.
Sorry, fans.
Just scalding you take after take.
And it was like, of course, he didn't want to do 100 takes because we'd kept having to dry myself off. And first take, I mean, we were worried that it wouldn't get all over me to make me look wet. First take, all over me, just drenched. And I think we did like one more take after that, and we got it. It was a perfect toss. Yeah.
Look at that. He's got a
He's a great
professional
actor.
arm
He
too.
can throw. He can do it
Look
all.
at that.
For real,
Amazing.
even his lunge looked great. Like,
Yeah. He
I was
was
blown away.
awesome. He was
So
cool.
good.
So I'm assuming then they're like going to bring him back.
Let's hope.
Like he was way too good to not come back.
And we got to figure out like what happened with him.
14.
True.
14. Okay.
14. Everybody-
14.
I feel like we're gonna be
Lucky
hearing that a lot
14.
tonight.
So you want to come back then next week?
Yeah, I'll come back. Actually, I might not be here. I might be back.
All right.
Yeah.
I think you're
Wow.
shooting,
Yeah, I
filming,
think I am
something.
shooting. Yeah.
Busy guy over here.
Yeah.
All right.
Busy
all right.
schedule. So then we sort of found out just a little more of the case. You know, Drake had to go handle the Terrell situation. Then we sort of found out through Liv's visions. Her visions were way crazy in this episode tonight. She was seeing so many.
Funny.
So, were you there for any of that filming?
I was there for. I saw the pictures right after he was done going through all the makeup.
Oh, man.
I wasn't there for the filming though. No.
Did you know the story kind of
Yes,
set up and you
yes,
knew he was going to
yes,
play older?
yes.
That is
So good.
That is so funny to me.
Yeah.
That not only is he asking for his dad back to figure out this whole will situation, but the fact that he's going to these lengths.
Yes.
And he's like, "Come on, Candy,
need
let's
to
do
do
the real
this."
makeup job." And
Yeah.
it's just like he's so vicious.
You'll see in future episodes he's got a lot more makeup jobs.
Really?
Yeah.
Exciting.
Very
Yeah.
excited
The
for that.
makeup artists are great.
They're great.
Oh my gosh, all the makeup tonight with like the dead characters, his dad coming back. I was
Yeah.
like, dang,
Yeah.
killed it.
It was incredible. It was totally incredible. Yeah, and so he's really using this opportunity to like take advantage of the situation with his dad. He's trying to rewrite this whole will situation. Where do you see this going? Where do you see the Blaine torture going? Do you think the dad will give in relatively soon, or is dad made of the same cloth as Blaine and they're really gonna fight it out for a while?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
I really don't. I want to say he'll give in soon because, I mean, if not, he's going to be mangled pretty fast, so...
Exactly.
He'll have no limbs
choice.
left.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but even with him, like, giving in soon, they're going to have to do a makeup job on him before they put him in front of the camera.
Oh, I just had a thought. Could there be rise to a new, like, zombie Frankenstein? That if you don't die and you get all your limbs cut off, can they, like, stitch you back up and it's like a whole new creature?
Why not?
You're welcome, iZombie. Got a new storyline. New characters. Yes, so we'll have to see what happens with maybe episode 14.
We'll get some... Yeah, everything's revealed 14. Amazing. Stop watching.
Really, everything? All right.
A lot.
All right.
Hey, lovely panel. I don't mean to interrupt, but it looks like the meaning of Frau is from Germany.
Thank you.
It means an adult woman. So if a woman is named Frau, it's pretty much that she is a very important woman.
There we go. I mean,
she's not just a pretty face.
Like, but seriously though, do I have that?
Geography.
Do I have that bad of an ear then that she was German and I thought
you thought it was English?
Yeah. Right? I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
Rewind it back. It'll all come together. Yeah.
Awesome.
I've picked up a thing or two along the way. in my journey of life. Yes. So, okay, now I want to talk a little bit about Drake and Liv's relationship.
Yeah. Thank you. I was really hoping we'd get there.
I was coming around to it. So you were kind of mentioning this earlier, and I was totally thinking about this. Drake's character is so interesting. I mean, you're fantastic as Drake. Drake himself is like such a conundrum. It's just so interesting. Like we see the tough side of him working for Boss and working with Blaine, and then he's really getting super sensitive and loving with Liv. And we've all been struggling since episode 1 with like who to ship Liv with? Like, who does she belong with?
I'm a big Liv and Drake shipper.
Yeah. I mean, I am too, but I'm still holding up for Blaine, so what?
I think it's a fun relationship. I think a little bit, I think it was episode 12, we found out about Drake didn't have the easiest childhood with, the mom,
right,
the boyfriend and everything. And I think that, he loves his mom, and I think he treats Liv good as he can because... Again, in 14, there's going to be some stuff revealed.
Okay.
But I'm digging it. I think Drake and Liv I think they like each other a lot.
Yeah.
And there's not much choice. I mean, they're both zombies, so they can both get it, do the damn thing,
Right.
So.
Right. Which, and I've thought this for many episodes with the whole Ravi condom experimentation.
Yes.
Like it really needs to be zombie action.
Yeah. But I think they care about each other a lot, and I think there's some feelings there. Rose and I have great chemistry. She's so amazing and so talented. It's an honor to work with her. So we have a good time with it. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And for some reason, it's like, like us on the panel, we've been seeing potential options, whatever, Major, Blaine, like whoever we think is going to be coming up as potential options. But I feel like not until Drake's character has it really like clicked and worked. Like,
she's
I believe
had a lot of boyfriends, right? I've heard on the show.
She had Lowell. But
she did have Lowell. But even with Lowell,
Major.
It wasn't like... I don't know. I just feel like there's something special between Liv and Drake.
We'll see.
And we was not expecting
14.
it.
I know.
I was not expecting it. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like...
Surprise.
Yeah. And even when Drake first got introduced, it was like maybe nothing would materialize. He was just a brand new character. But the second that Liv and Drake were introduced, it just totally felt good. Like I feel good about it.
Yeah, even after the first episode, I remember reading all the tweets like, "Oh, there's Liv's new love interest," and I'm like, we didn't really even hint that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was perfect. All the pieces kind of fell together. Definitely.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Oh, this was also funny. Complete side note okay, so my notes are like a crazy person's over here, but I put this down to say at the beginning and then I didn't even, but I did think it was funny. So they ended the episode finding all the bodies that they had been looking for, but when they were searching the grounds, Ravi was like, oh yeah, geocaching.
Yes.
They always come up with brand new, random, like technologically advanced, like whatever things to spring on the viewers as to what's happening and what's popular. So geocaching is a new thing.
So funny.
It's like finding treasures via GPS technology.
The show is very like up to date.
Yeah.
It's totally up to date.
Everything. Yeah.
Completely.
Funny. Yeah.
It's super funny. I got a kick out of that.
Yeah. I've never done it, but my roommate does it. Yeah.
Geocaching?
It's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Totally into
Oh my
it.
God, please
One of my
elaborate.
friends does it too.
Wait,
but
had you never heard of
I've
it?
never
No!
done.
It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I'm like
really
new to
popular.
everything. No, I've
It's
not.
like a grown-up
I know what
worldwide-
Frau means. I don't know what
It's like a grown-up worldwide scavenger hunt. Like people leave little
Interesting.
things everywhere, and it's like an app on your phone, and you get clues, and you can go different places and find your geocache like prize and whatever it is, and then like replace it for
Oh
somebody
my God,
else.
I feel so lame. Okay, so everyone knew.
I've never heard of
Yeah,
it.
everyone
no.
knew.
It's fantastic.
No,
I
but I'm
only knew.
interested. And
Yeah.
now I
Oh,
wanna
so you're
do
with
it.
me.
I'm
Okay.
with you. I don't know.
Thank you.
No,
Yeah.
I only knew because one of my guy friends, he started dating a girl from doing that, which like we all made
No,
fun
he
of
did
him
not.
at
He made a
first.
love connection over
Wow.
We made
geocaching.
fun of him at first, and then we were like, okay, this is actually kind of awesome. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's very cool.
Not
Crazy
to interrupt
world.
again, but that was my first date. And with the person I'm with now. Yeah, we went out, and then he was like, "Hey, have you ever heard of geocaching?" We just went all night for like 4 hours looking around LA.
This is
for
amazing.
geocaching.
Amazing.
Okay,
Cool.
side note.
Whatever.
Aside from finding love, did you find anything else?
I mean, we found some pretty cool stuff. If you go around the USC campus, you can find some cool things, and it's really cool to go back. So every
You guys are still dating?
yeah, we're 5 years now.
Oh my god.
So every year during our anniversary, we'll go drop
Forget.
off something on a geocache, and it'll be part of our tradition.
That's cool.
My heart
Alexis, that is
melting.
adorable.
Oh, I think it.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard of.
You should
Finding
try
love
it. You
in a
might
hopeless
see one.
place.
You might find one of my trinkets in one of the USC statues.
Okay.
And you might find your future husband.
Yeah, really.
Oh my God.
Just try it. It's
Challenge
fun.
accepted, lady.
All right, guys.
Sounds
This
amazing.
weekend.
See, I'm so glad I brought that up.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
The
Geocaching.
new tender. Great.
Yeah, right?
Forget Tinder.
Yeah.
Geocaching.
Geocaching.
That's the new thing. Okay, so Greg,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about how you got into acting. You grew up in Maine.
Grew up in Maine.
Were you
Oh,
an
God,
actor in
that's-
school?
Never.
Did you?
Never.
Really?
Not to get so, because it's really just a long story, but
That's okay. We've got time here.
yeah?
We want to know.
I went through a lot of things my senior year in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I was an athlete. I got injured, and I had scholarships for basketball, and then I ended up losing all my scholarships, and I lost a really good buddy of mine. A really good buddy of mine passed away, and it was just a hard year. I went to a small college in Rhode Island, and I ended up getting really sick. I had a rare throat infection. I had an abscess in my throat,
Oh my goodness.
and I had to have emergency surgery, and I was bedridden for a very long time.
Wow.
And after all these things, I was just like bedridden. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? My mom would bring me like stacks of DVDs, and I would just watch movies just to get my mind off of life, you know?
Yeah.
And when the movie would end, I would just be like, oh, I want to be lost again and lost in those stories. And I just had this epiphany. I don't know if it was the Percocet I was taking or what, but
Might have helped.
I said, I want to be an actor. And I just drove out. January 7th, 2005, I gave my mom a kiss on the cheek, and I said, I'm not coming back till I make it. And
Wow.
Oh, wow.
that was it.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was
Oh
it.
my gosh.
That's
so
an
when
incredible story.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a short version, I guess.
that was very abridged.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna
Yeah.
be here a little longer.
Drake.
Well-
Drake, you're so sweet.
Well, certainly sorry to hear of some of those
everything
negative
happens
things.
for a reason.
Yes. So all of those things that you went through, do you feel like that helped you more in your kind of quest for where you are today?
Yeah, I
and-
didn't really have any training, and I still haven't, and I still really don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep working, so I have no idea. I
Amazing.
just kind of, I feed off a lot of the things I went through and
Yeah.
experiences along the way. And
So moving out here
Mm-hmm.
to pursue acting, do you have any really funny or embarrassing audition stories?
oh my God, yeah. I would
So
say
many.
90% of them
Really?
are embarrassing. I mean, I think every actor will tell you this. The things you think you nail, and you walk out of there and you're like, I am awesome, and I got this role, you never hear back from. And the ones you bomb, you get. It's the
Isn't
weird,
it
it's
amazing?
so-
Everyone says that.
I think that's
It's
what.
true.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it an art form. Maybe is because it's like, somebody might not like that painting, and then somebody might love that painting. You never know. It's just you do the work.
Truly.
And people are gonna take what they're gonna take from it.
Yeah.
And you can't judge yourself. You just go in and you try to make it as real as possible, and
I know, that's so funny. Just like you're saying, a
So
lot of
many
people
people
say
say
that.
it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's so frustrating.
It
I'm
really
sure.
it's
Yeah.
weird.
It's even hard to like perfect it. How do you, because you don't know. you get
don't
no
know.
feedback.
Yeah. You get no feedback.
Just be shitty all the time.
Yeah, that's what it just happened last week. Last week it happened.
Yeah.
I had 2 auditions, and I killed one of them, and I just bombed one of them. And I'm up for the one I bombed as we speak, so we'll see.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fingers crossed for that.
I know.
There you go. There's your audition tip for the day,
There you
everyone.
go. Just suck.
Suck.
Just suck.
My
Awesome.
advice.
Your odds are far
Actors.
better.
Yeah.
Good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've noticed and talked about on the show is we wondered if your scar was for the character Drake, but we see that it is in fact real.
Yeah, it's real.
When did you acquire that?
Kid, I got into a rock fight when I was a kid, and some kid threw a rock at me, and the story in the show was much more emotional and better. And then they wrote it into the show. Dan called me and said, "Hey, can we write it into the show? Is it something that you're ashamed of, or not ashamed of, but is it too personal?" I was
Right.
like, "Please do whatever, write whatever you want." Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Oh my gosh, I feel like that's very, very much an interesting approach to a character to have
Yeah.
something
Oh, yeah.
involved personally.
Yeah, I thought it was cool because it was the first
Yeah.
time anyone's ever written my scar into, specifically.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, with all these villainous characters,
Yeah.
that fits perfectly.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, what are some things that that you like to do outside of acting? What are some of your main loves, your main passions?
I would say basketball is still
Yeah.
number one. Yeah.
We heard from some of the other cast members on iZombie that there's a lot of offset
There's a lot of
basketball
trash
games
talk.
going on.
Not a lot. Okay.
Oh,
Wait.
This is the
Do
joke.
tell.
There's a lot of trash talking,
Okay.
and there's not a lot of playing.
oh,
So
not a lot of backing it up,
Yeah.
huh?
So Anders and Malcolm and I will be out with Raul, and we'll all be drinking, and we'll be drunk, and we'll be talking about basketball and stuff like that, and we'll all be like, "Oh, we gotta play." And Anders and Malcolm, obviously, they're so tight, they'll be talking more trash to each other, but we just never do. We're like too hungover the next day.
Right.
We're like, "Oh, Sunday, open gym at the Y, let's go," and then we just never do it.
Never happens.
Never happens.
Okay, that's very funny.
But we will. We will.
Well, hopefully.
We will play. Yeah.
Because we've been hearing all the talk.
I know.
Yeah.
I guess Malcolm's really good, and because he's from Brooklyn, and that's just in your blood. If you're from Brooklyn, you're a point guard. You have handles. You can
yeah.
play.
Yep.
Yeah. And I guess Anders has a shot. I've heard he can shoot the 3.
Oh,
So we'll see.
look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, we look forward to the update.
Yeah.
Please keep us
I will let you
posted
know.
on how
Please
that
do.
I'll let
goes.
you know.
Who wins, who has game, who doesn't.
Yeah.
You
We
guys are
wanna
just
know.
going to have to start drinking while you play.
I think that's the
I
only
think
way
that's-
we're going to be able
yeah.
to do it.
The only way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14,
Sometimes-
episode 14. It'll be
Oh,
revealed.
okay. Yes.
14.
Yes.
There we go.
14, guys.
That
Everything.
episode.
14. Okay, so now coming from a character like Drake, and we were kind of mentioning that it's sort of fortunate that you've kind of come into characters like this. Are there any characters that you would like to specifically play,
I think
or in a certain genre, or
I think
something
I'd like
that kind
to
of?
play every kind of role
Yeah?
I could possibly play. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
all actors want to try to do it all. Yeah.
Yes,
You know?
that seems very daunting.
Yeah.
It does.
For
yeah.
sure.
Maybe something where it's like complete opposite of me.
Yeah.
Complete opposite of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would certainly be the most challenging.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of sort of sci-fi or horror or paranormal kind of?
I've become a fan of sci-fi.
Yeah.
After I did Star-Crossed, it was such a sci-fi fan base, and I did a couple conventions, and I started, becoming more aware of it, and would go see more sci-fi films when they come
Were you
out.
a fan
No,
before?
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was never really
Interesting.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But after I did Star-Crossed, I kind of got into it a little more.
that's
Very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gained an appreciation
Of
for
course,
it.
Of course.
Excellent.
The fan base is so intense.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I know.
true.
That's the thing, is there's really a lot to choose from too. And
Yeah.
even if you're not really into it, I'm sure you experienced this. It's
Yeah.
just like there's so much so much to see and so much to choose from. Do you feel like that that helped your sort of interest in it? Is coming into a scenario where you gained your own fan base and kind of people that were familiar with you, and that helped ease you into it?
Almost not. I should do it, but I kind of wanted to for the fan. When you feel the love from the fans that much. And you're not really into something, you're like, all right, I want to try this out and like see what it's all about, you know?
Yeah.
So going to Comic-Con will do that to you.
Oh, yeah.
It's life-changing.
WonderCon and all those cons. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So what's been one of your favorite scenes that you've done on iZombie with any of your co-stars? What's kind of stood out in your mind?
Gosh, I'm trying to think.
I know, it's so much.
Can we talk about Mr. Boss?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Eddie Jefferson, the actor. Oh my God.
He's so good as Mr.
and
Boss.
He is really.
Probably the nicest person I've ever met.
Really?
Oh my God. He's such a sweetheart, and he's such a in stature small.
Demure
But
fellow.
he'll give a look, and he'll give like this psychotic kind of like, and you'd be like, oh my God, I'm afraid of you for like a second right now. Like we were doing a scene the other day, and I was like, wow, it's really cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember it so clearly.
So do I.
When you and I watched the episode and they unveiled him as Mr. Boss.
We're just
You would
like,
never think, right?
You would never. We were just like, that guy. But
Really?
but he's so good for
So
it
good.
because you think that, because he's sort of unassuming, but he's got that like creepy, slimy quality. You're just like, oh, he's capable of anything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sitting across the desk from him, and I'm twice the size of him, and I'm looking at him like this, doing the scene, and then he gives me this look, and I'm just like, oh my God, you're amazing. I'm afraid of you.
Right.
All at the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah, it's cool.
Completely. Excellent. So coming off of iZombie, do you feel like you've really made some excellent friends and cohorts and just...
I don't want to sound like I want you. I've never been on a show, and I mean this. I've never been on a show where I clicked with a cast so much, so fast. They were so welcoming, and it starts from Rose, number one, all down. They're the most down to earth. They really all love each other. Raul invited me to his birthday party like the second day I was there. The whole cast was going, and they're just awesome. They really are. They got something special there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it must be the case. Everybody who comes on just says the most amazing things about the cast.
It's true.
Yeah. It's really great to find that out as a viewer, too, because we all love everybody on the show, and to know that everybody's as great as we imagine them.
It's really cool.
I love that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Well, Greg, what do you have coming up? Do you have anything new or different that we can...
teasing things, but I
okay.
just found out this week I got some big news, and I can't really talk about it too much. All I can say is I'm returning to a show.
Okay. TV.
In the very near future.
When will we
Exciting.
find out? Can you give us that much?
A few weeks.
Few weeks. All right, that's good.
All right,
really-
I'm about
you're really
to look
teasing
up
us.
everything that you've been on.
It's not much.
I'm like, so we're gonna figure this out.
Excellent. Well, that is very exciting. We'll be keeping an eye out for that.
For sure.
Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
tonight.
Thank
This has
you.
been
Yeah,
so much
thank
fun.
you.
Thank you for having me. You're very sweet. Thank you, guys.
You're very sweet. We've really appreciated this. And let everyone know where they can find you on social media and everything.
You can find me on Twitter at Greg_Finley, and then on Instagram at Greg Finley Official. Even though that sounds so douchey.
That's okay. We got to know you're verified.
Greg Finley was already taken.
Yep.
That's okay. There you go.
So
All
true.
right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and checking out our iZombie After Show. And a huge thanks to Greg for joining us tonight. I have been your host, Blake V. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media.
And I'm Hannah Prichard, and you all can find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Hotshot Dude.
Thanks for hanging out as always. I'm Desiree, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DMurph625.
Thanks, everyone. Catch you next week for episode 14.
Yes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Oh my God.
The jaw dropper.
See you later.
Oh,
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.